Hope everything is going smoothly. Everybody is able to understand something. So let us begin with our prayer, salutation to our teacher. So please show that. Deepa, can you show it? Yes. So let us recite the
Yes,
verse.
I just started.
Yeah. Try to recite the words. We'll understand the meaning of words. That will tell how it has been, meaningful to us and why we recite this. So, yeah, please start this. Yenaksharasamaamnayam
येनाक्षरसमाम्नाय
adhigamya maheswarat
अधिगम्य
अधिगम्य महेश्वरात्
कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तम्
कृत्स्नं
कृष्णं
व्याकरणं
व्याकरणं प्रोक्तम्
तस्मै पाणिनये नमः.
तस्मै
तस्मै
पाणिनये
पाणिनये
नमः
नमः.
Tasmai Paninaye Namah. So now back to Siva Sutrani. So I would
I won't
relate
lift
रिलिक्
Eon
एवं
एवं
out
अयोच्
यौच्
Hayavarat
हयवरट्
हयवरट्
Learn
लड्
learn
लण्
Namananam
यमननं
यमणानं
Jabhaya
Jabhai
झभय
जभय
Gadadhas
Gadadhar
धडधस्
धडधस्
Jabagadadas
जबगडधस्
Jabagadadas
जबगडदस्
Kapha Chathatha Chatatav
Thapa
खप
Chatata
छठथ चटतव
Kapaya
कपय
कपय
Sasasar Hal.
Shashasar
शशर हल
Iti Maheswarani Sutrani
Iti
इति
Maheshwarani
इति
माहेश्वराणि सूत्राणि
Anadi Sangyarthani
Pranadi
अनादि
Sangatani
अनादि
संज्ञार्थानि
संज्ञार्थानि
Sangyarthani. So Anadi Sangyas are meant, are prepared out of this Maheswarani Sutrani. So this is all our, see what we are seeing is that what it began with this sutras, the Pratyaharas, and how the Pratyaharas has been used in the sutras that we have been, that's why in every sutra I'm trying to point that how this Pratyahara helps to make sutras in a very short form. Yeah, so let us start with. So today, what we will take up is
Can we
these are the,
mute that?
yeah, yeah, please. So we'll sit. So what we are trying to do is, so yesterday we saw that how verbal inflections, that is the thing suffixes, take care of the whole system of sentence structure by telling the thing how it is used in kartari, karmani, the meanings which are there at the abstract level are conveyed through the pratyaya. That's why they are called the pratyateyanena pratyaya. And how the concept, the new idea of la, lakara, lasya, the sthanivat bhava helps to understand the meanings or the meanings of sentence or words through these verbal suffixes, because verbal suffixes are the thing. So this Thanivat concept is again a very new innovation, is an innovative idea that how to arrange or use the substitutes, because there are changes, a lot of bikaras, sometimes replacements are there. So these replacements is a new thing that is newly discovered by Panini and has applied the words Thanivat Bhava so that both the forms can be considered as one. So the same one form is used in two different forms sometimes in particular condition. So that is what we saw that how inflections are there. So this is the Bhartrhari's idea of Spota Sabda. So next we'll see what today is how the verbal forms used in Sanskrit language in so many, 180, and these are the inflectional forms are many. So these inflectional forms, we find them with the thing. So 180 forms in each verb, and in 10 lakaras they are divided. Now, how these forms are used in the language? People use only the bhavati, but each word used in Sanskrit language are well processed. Process means there is a prakriya. Prakriya, we say in Sanskrit, means the process through which a word is arrived at. We use the word, but we do not know how far it is correct and how it is processed. So this Panini has observed step by step every change in a word with specific rules. This is just I am going to show with the verbal form, say bhavati. When a word bhavati is used, what does it mean? How it comes up, how it is formed. These are the sutras if we look at. So first thing always la comes bhu lat. So vartamane lat. This is the way how it is taught in the Patshalas. So first to learn the form, how it is grammatically correct. How many steps is there? So that is what we are seeing here, just to sample. So then you get tipi, lasya. See the order. These are the steps. We cannot break it. So there is a system, there is a process, step by step, the change takes place within the word. And it is all happening in the mind. We use the word directly, but it is not just like that. So every word used by us are well organized, well thought, well discussed. That's why Vitarkita. First, the meanings of the words are very well understood only when we go to grammar, only analyzes how many steps are followed or how many ways the word has come out, which we call it sadhu sabda. Why sadhu? Because every change in the form can be explained. So it is explained by Panini, shows that every word used by our human mind are well processed. They follow the rules. So this is an example to show how many rules are used for getting one form. So bhuti, you get this tip tasji, the sutras I am giving side by side. Then you get the sap agama, I told, because it belongs to the bhadi class. So here the sap comes in the between. This is called vikarana or agama. So it comes between bhu and tip, always. But this sap is marked, is used in the sense of kartari. So the kartari forms are used where it is the sap pratyaya is added in the between. And in the sap, as we know, I had told you in the beginning, the it letters. Shap, sha goes, po goes. Po goes by halantyam. Look at this. Po goes by halantyam. And sha goes by lasakkotaite. There is a sutra which I have shown you in the it sutras are there. I had given us 5-6 sutras where we will show. So that what remains actually lasakkotaite halantyam tasya lopo. We have the so bhu oti. See the steps. Then you get guna. So in the beginning we had talked about Iko guna bruddhi. Guna bruddhi takes place, and this is a special feature of Indian languages, particularly in Sanskrit. All the roots ending with ika, ik again, ik pratyahara. Ik means I, U, Ru, Lu. These four vowels, when they are used, whether the verb begins with I, U, Ru, Lu, or it ends with I, U, Ru, Lu. Like bhu, it is ukaranta. And since it is ukaranta, so it gets guna. So there is a sarvadhatuka, ardhatuka. There is another concept. Now look at this. We will be coming today also. The suffixes used with the verbs. They are divided into, I will be showing that sarvadhatuka, ardhatuka. We will be showing it. I will explain that. So there is the suffix ti and a or the sit. So that's why it's called stip and sit. So all the agamas are beginning with sa, pasyan, sna, what we had given dasaganas. So there we have the shit pratyaya. They are all sit pratyaya. And the ting and sit, the two suffixes used with verbal soha inflection are called ting sarvadhatuka suffix. The rest of the suffix used with verb are called ardhadhatuka. I will explain that. I will show the example. So this is how, that's why you get guna. So guna is adeng guna, a, o. So bhu become o, u becomes o, guna. Then you get bho, ati. Then the sutra, echo vayabaha. A becomes aya. So whatever sandhi rules we had seen in the beginning are all applied in word formation also. It is not only within word, but also across the word. We had seen sandhi between two words. So here we have here, within the word itself, the same rule is applied. Whether it is ekojanachi, whether it is adguna, whether it is this sarvadhatuka, ardhatuka guna, whether it is abadesha, these are all the same rules applied wherever there is a combination, wherever there is a sandhi, whether within the word or across the words. So that is why okara, you get abadesha, the o becomes ab, ho, h, a, o, u, and ab, ab, respectively, are substituted when the vowel follows. Because o is followed, that's why o takes abadesha. So bha, ab, then ati, you get bhavati. Got it? So this is what it shows, that one verbal form. This is called verbal conjugation. They are telling in English and in the linguistic terms, it is conjugation. What is happening in conjugation? We are getting the same form with different rules. We are explaining the internal structure of a word. We don't change anything, no meaning, no, only this word with its meaning. We are only explaining the internal structure of a word. This is conjugation. And it is used, it is inflectional because only ti is the final, it is called the finite suffix, the finite verbal form. What is finite? Once it is used, you cannot add any other suffix, like ing. But there are suffixes which can be used before that. So there are two ways when a verb is formed, or verbal forms are used: inflectionally, which only tells about the tense, moods, and aspects, which are called the finite endings, like our thing, which represent always the final form of the verb or a noun, super thing. Anyone, they are final. That's why they are separated as padam, supting gantang padam. All other suffixes used with a noun or verb, they take different names. That's why for noun, we get it the dita suffixes, and for verb, we'll get krut suffixes. We'll be coming now soon. That's why I'm just showing this, that the division is always very much clear-cut, classification, categorization. Why necessary? To understand the structure of the language, to understand the behavior of the language, we try to analyze and understand that what we use are systematically used. They're used with the rules. There is no arbitrariness in the language structure. In the internal structure of the language is very, very logically structured, arranged. So Panini grammar only explain the structure of words step by step with specific rules. Look at this, Bhavati, one form. If you look at this, it shows you that to get a word, how many rules are used. So that means we are using it, means we know it, but we do not know about it. That is why what is about language? Why you need science? Yesterday you were telling, no? That is what. To know about something, we have to go beyond the language. So that is how, one second. So that is how we try to understand, so the idea is that the structure of the language, the structure of the words are, they presupposes that there is a system, there are a set of rules which are used to form the language, and they use the word. So this shows this process or prakriya is how systematic and how logical and how things change within, not outside. We use only the word, but when you understand it, we need to look at its structure to get the correct meaning. Why you say it is present? Why do you say it is active? So the changes that take place within a form speaks of everything. And if we know the rules, oh yes, we can say this is bhavati. So that is in present tense. Now suppose our next please. This is a lot lakara. If you take one form with a lit, Like that, we will get Dvivachana, Bahuvachana will come. Lot also, it is also Dvivachana. Let's go to lit, next lit. Just see this. Same rules are applied with different suffixes. Next, please. Babhuba. Yes. Now, just if you look at this, why you say present? Now, the difference in form. In the lot lakara, you get bhavati. In the lit lakara, when we come, we get this babhuva. Now, what has happened here? The form is babhuva. The question is, it is used in Sanskrit now. Only duplication is available in Sanskrit. So, what we get is that all the verbal roots get doubled in this lakara. In this lit lakara is used in the sense of remote past. Just like you say, so Ayodhyayam Raja Babhuva Dasaratha or Rama. So Ayodhyayam Raja Babhuva. When? So long ago. This is something remote past which is beyond our, that's why I call it Paroksha lit. Now to understand the meaning of Paroksha, the form has changed. The same dhatu has become Babhuva. Now how the form has come, how it is possible, why people use differently, because as I always remember, Sanskrit is the only language which is mostly unambiguous. I will not say totally, mostly. Unambiguity is the main object. Asandhyartha madhyati. If you have any doubt, it is only grammar helps to clear the doubts. So this babhuva is a form which is always, wherever the dhatu is duplicated, it is called the lead form, mostly, because some dhatus are duplicated by themselves in all tenses, like juhotyadi, we will see later on. But first, the basic characteristics of ditva, it comes with this lit lakara, and it is specialty for the Sanskrit language. But we have also ditva in the Greek also, but not like our lit lakara, but we have in present also. We will be showing that sometimes. But paroksha lit, if you again same procedure, first you get lit, then you get law. So then you get lit, then you get paroksha lit, again lasya coming. Say stage is always common for all the roots, for all the lakara. First law should come, not the directly. Then we get this. Now what has happened here? To get the babhuva, what has happened? Now there is a replacement rule. What is? In the lit lakara, all the suffixes have been replaced. Because there is no ti. Babhuva, babhuvatuhu, babhuvu. The forms if you look at, so there is a replacement of all the suffixes. So there is a sutra, parasmai padanam nalatustal. It is only in the parasmai pada, it is active only. These forms have been replaced. So in the place of ti, we get nal. If you look at this, bhu plus nal. Again, now goes, la goes by halantyam, now goes by, there is a sutra, chutu, cha varga and ta varga. If these anubandhas, this is tagging. Look at this, the tagging. He is using anubandhas everywhere to indicate the changes in the form. Nal indicates you. La halantyam. Now na goes, na is niti. Whatever goes, it becomes it, no? So niti means always there is a sutra, achon niti, that if a pratyaya is niti, say it indicates vruddhi. So this is where this lit lakara, one form is enough. If you understand the one lakara, one form, the rest of the forms, only suffix is added, you get the forms very easily. To get this form, how it has come, you see this. So because of nal, so there is a replacement. So nal, na goes, la goes, or remains. Then you get, there is a book agama. There is a book is agama here. So that's why bhuboho, book, lung, litoho. In the two lakaras, lung and lit, we get book agama. Then bhu, bo, then you get ditva. So here ditva comes. In the lit lakara, the root is doubled. So they get a bhu, bhu, then this place, the first one in the duplication, the first is taken as abhyasa. See, it is a process, it is everywhere, in all the dhatus. If you know one form, babhuva, you can know or explain all the lead forms of any dhatu. So here is only bhukagama, only bhu dhatu, not for all. That's why he is specially mentioning bhuboho buklung litu. Bhu, so ditva, it becomes abhyasa. So again, bhu, dirgha, because there is a sutra, rasva. So in the abhyasa, dirgha becomes rasva. Next, please. So once it becomes Raswa, then U Bhavat in Bhudhatu, U becomes A, Bha Bhu A. Then here Abhyasa Charcha, Char Pratyahara is used in the Abhyasa, that is Jhalan, Jas, Khayam Char. So the Bha becomes Ba, corresponding voice sounds. Voice, voiced aspirate, Ghosha and Mahaprana. And Ba is voiced, but Atmaprana. So it is not Mahaprana. So that's why you get it. Then you get Bha Bhu Bhu. See the place. To get one form, how many rules are used by us or by the mind? How mind process language and how forms are created, generated. Will you call it is created by us or it is generated by itself? Now Chomsky is claiming that the language is a self-developed system. Language is not just borrowed like that. Which language? The human language. Human language, the brain language, is more a developed system. It is a system which is developed in itself. So it has its own rules. We are trying to only approach and understand through various means, whether you use grammatical rules or you use linguistic method, whichever method is possible, convenient to us. But the objective is one, to know the language, how mind process the language, and what is that language, what are the rules used. So this only shows, Panini shows that how many rules are used to get the word used by us. Whenever it is used in the whole of Sanskrit literature, the lead forms are very commonly used to understand that, because many things has happened long, long ago. So that is why this lit lakara gives you the change, that is replacement of the suffixes, then the whole root undergo change, then becomes sandhi, so that it becomes a babhuba, one word. Next, if you go to lut, if you just go to the next lut, what is happening in the lut? No, the difference between the lakara is, in the lut lakara, the form is separate, yes, so bhavita. Now, why the form has changed? Now, to make a distinction between the time, between the, that's why the lakaras are divided, no? To distinguish the time part, time factors, to be unambiguous. That's why it is called the first future. Future has two, that is, one is first future, we call it lut lakara, and second, another is second future, which is actually lut lakara, that we get bhavishyati. Bhavita means who is going to inherit in future, unknown future. We have not decided. But once you are born, you are inheriting the property of your father, so you are ensured. This is Bhavita or Grahita. Now, what has happened here? In the Lut Lakara, what is the basic difference? You see that we get Ta. So, Ti, where is the Ti? He has taken Ti as the basic suffix. Now, the Ti is not seen here. Then what happens? Where is Ti? Now, the question is how grammar has to explain. When you get a form in difference, so doubt comes. If you take suffix ti, it is not present everywhere. Then why you have taken as the basic tiptasji? Why you did not take ta separately? Man, look, it's a grammarian has to synthesize. If he is a true grammarian, who is a true grammar, who can give a correct definition, who can give a correct explanation, and logically. Look at this, these are the changes according to the time. So because of difference in times, the suffix undergo change. So ti is not seen here. Why? Then how do you get, look at this. First we get the lakara, lut always. Then you get tip, lasya as it is. Now here we have in the lut lakara, the difference between lot and lut is it that you get a separate agama called tas. In that we have sap agama, bhavati, but in this you have a tas agama. Tas, so that's why in all the lut forms, in all the dhatus, you will get bhavita, gamita, patita, any verb you are using that represent the meaning of first future. So tas is the agama, shatasi, lutoho. The sya and tas are the two suffixes used for lut and lut. That is first future and second future. So if it is lut, you get tas. If it is lut, you get sya, shatasi. See the order of the sutra. Sya, tas, ru, lutoho. So respectively, sio goes with ru, tas goes with lut. Yatha sankhya manudish. Even the words used in the sutras, how they are used in such a way that you cannot change the order in the sutra itself. The words are used in such a way that, so the yatha sankyam, 1, 3, 10 ahead, yatha sankyam anudesha samanam. So whenever a change is shown in a group, they are shown in a respective order. So Shetasi, Luluto tells you that Sio and Tas are the agamas for Lu and Lut. So Ru is second future, you get Shia, Bhavishyati, and Lut is the second future, you get Bhavita. So Tas Agama comes, then you add Tip. So Agama is always in between. This is called infix, or we call Bikara also. Sorry, we call also Bikarana. In tradition it is used. Sub Bikarana, Tas is coming, all these Agamas are coming in the place of Shap. Shap is the first given Bhadipya Shap. This Shap is used, defined as Kartari Shap. So all these are the replacements, these are the substitutes for Shap. Even they are different lakaras, the same Kartari sense continue. So only in the place of Shap, you get different agamas in different lakaras. So lakaras are distinguished by their own agamas. That's why you had a null agama. So there, here you have tas agama, and you will see bhavi. So then the operation goes on, you get bhavita asti. I will not give more, but I am just showing. Next, go to lut lakara. Suppose if you look at this bhavita, if you go to lutu, bhavishyati. So what is happening here? Now, as per that rule, lurutoho, only difference is you get the shya agama. Once you get Shya Agama, same rule is there, Shatasi. Now what happens? Here there is coming, now see the sutra is there, Ardhatukasya Id Balade. What is Ardhatuka? If you see these suffixes, Bhu and Tip, always I told, Ting is the word final. That is inflectional suffix, always comes at the end. Now all other suffixes that is required, whether it is Agama or any other suffix comes before that. They are treated differently. So that is why the Shya is a Agama in the lakara arthe, in the root. Because of root lakara, you get siya agama. Because of siya, you get it. Now, little change would be there. I think whether you can do, this should come before siya. Dipa, it should come before siya. Now, when we say this it and siya, what is siya? So, siya is agama for the root lakara. That is a marker.
Sorry, sir. Which should come before which one?
It before Shya. It should
Oh,
come.
this.
Ha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It
Because
and
it
then
becomes-
here. Okay.
Look at this. If it is in the right, then it will become CA. Understand? O plus E will become Sandhi. A.
Okay.
But we need Isya. Okay. So the moment you change the place, there will be anartha, there will be a distraction. That is, there will be a wrong form. So it is an agama for the Shya. Now what is the Shya? It is not thing nor sit. Look at this. The first suffix, that is thing, which is used for person, number, and active, etc. So the Shya only marks a difference in the lakara. But when this Shya comes, it comes as an agama between bhu and tipi, and this Shya is not tip. It is not thing, nor it is sit, because its saw has been replaced. Sap has been replaced by Shya. So since Shya is not sit, shakara iti, or tip, so these suffixes, which are not thing and sit, are called ardhadhatuka. So thing and sit only are sarvadhatuka. So thing and sit are only ardhatuka. The finite endings as well as the sapagam, siddhi, sapasnamsya. All other suffixes which are used in between, they are called ardhadhatuka. Because ardhadhatukam sesha. Sesha means rest. So within the verbal formations, within the verbal conjugation or verbal derivation, there are two types of suffixes. Verb text to, I will go to show you also. So this sutra says that if this, how do you know why you need ardhatuka? Now if it is ardhatuka, then it takes it agama. This it comes before. Now, why it is et? Look at this. So these are the tagging. When you have sure plus it is the agama. When where it should be used? Before sure or after sure? One may question. Doubt may come. Now, before you have any doubt, Panini has made its own provision. This tagging helps him to give the placement also. The anubandhas are used for so many things. One is to show the changes within the form. We'll see bruddhi, etc., guna bruddhi. We will also see that placement. When you are giving some kind of agama or adesha, where it should be used, before or after. So in this case, when it you say ardhodharkasya, it baladehe, what does it mean? Ishi baladi. Bal means all consonants except ya. Look at the pratyaharas. However, at starting, ha is kept out, from ya is kept out, from va to la, val. Varadi means if there is a pratyaya begins with bal pratyahara. Bal means all consonants other than ya. So if there is a baladi pratyaya only, what happens? There is a idagama. It is agama for ardhadhatuka suffix. So sya is ardhadhatuka. So there is a it agama. Now why you say it? Now when you are giving an agama, the question comes where we should place it. So this device, this tagging helps him to say that he has made it it. Why you made it? So in the sutra, in the Sanya section, if you come to Paribhasa also, all this Paribhasa sutra gives you the place, where it should be placed, when it should be placed. So all these things are there in the Paribhasa sutras. Okay, so there is a sutra. So it because indicates that he has made a sutra for that. That's why one sutra explains the other sutra. If you understand the iti, titi, why it is titi? No, there is a sutra, adyanto takito. And you giving in due course when it will come. And we will be doing anubandhas. This is called anubandhas or the tagging. These are the eth letters. Panini's, according to Panini's, it is eth letters, but tradition calls it anubandha, and computer or say linguistically or the computational linguistics call it tagging. The concept of tagging is done with anubandhas. So if you make teeth, so the sutra says adyanto, adi anto, teeth kito. If the pratyaya is teeth, it should be in the adi, in the beginning of the pratyaya for which it is prescribed. Here it is ardhodhatuka, sya it. Who is ardhodhatuka? Sya is ardhodhatuka pratyaya. Because sya is ardhodhatuka, tasya adi is, so e should come before sya. Got it? So once you, because of teeth, it comes before. If it is kith, it comes at the end. So in course, you will be seeing. So whenever he has used these eth letters, the main important is, one is placement. When a suffix is prescribed, used to describe the form, so where you should place. So everything there, asandhyartha madhyam vakaranam. By changing, using this word T only, titti, he has helped to understand where it should be placed. So that nobody should have a doubt. So that's why Adyanto Takito is there. On which basis? So it should come before Shya. So then you get again same guna, then you get Bho, A, E, Shya. Second it is stage here, it is correct. Bhu, E, Shyati. Again guna, Sarvadhatuka, Ardhatuka. Here is Ardhatuka is there, Sarvadhatuka, both are there. Bho, E, Shya. Again Echo Vaiva, Bhavishya, Bhavishyati. And this Shya, Sa, Dantesha has become Murdhanya Sha. It is again because of the Ikara. So there is a sutra. When Dantesha become Murdhanasha, so there is a sutra also. In Koho, Adesha Prakriyoho, I have given at the end. Just when you will go through the each step, each change in the form, how it has been logically explained. How the rules have been framed by Panini to explain the internal structures of even a word single. And particularly in the verbal forms, you need more rules. We have lakaras, we have agamas, we have this all these things, what he calls guna, same sandhi rules, H-O-V-A. Same Sandhi rules. You have got this. The Isya. If it is coming after, it will become Se. Sya plus E, it will become Se. But the form is Bhavishyati. So why, how we will explain that? Now always remember, these are all used in the by the people. Grammarian is only explaining them with rules he is able to formulate. To explain that the changes within the words are very, very logical, systematic. So this shows the steps how a word is formed in our mind. How Panini has observed every minute details. Look at these forms. Even if you add agama, then you have to see where E should come and when it should not. So that's why baladi, if it is baladi only, if there is a baladi pratyaya, bal means all consonants. See the pratyaharas used in why pratyaharas. Everywhere this pratyahara is playing an important role by making it very laghu, short form, baladi. So if the baladi pratyaya is there, then sure text agama. If not, not necessary. So let us see. So root. Then like this, we will get this here. So this is the same thing. The same thing. Now let us go to Atmanepada. Etha dhatu can we just show? Some, it is requires more time for more things when we work it out. And next, sometimes we will be seeing this Etha dhatu, when it is suppose in Atmanepada, also same rule is applied. Only difference is, can you show Etha dhatu please? 1 second. Deepa is coming? Yeah. Same procedure, same rule, because
Yes,
he's talking in terms of Lokara. So Lokara is common both for Parsva and Atmanapada. So what do we see here is the suffix is giving to atamjo, tha sasamdo. So the tang pratyahara, which represent only Atmanapada. We had seen. Next, go to the form. So the first form, let us see this edate. Now this etadhatu is used in the sense of bruddhi, growth, like vardhate. So instead of saying vardhate, we can say edhate. Now again same procedure, same rules are applied. Vartaman alert. Again, now only thing here, the suffix is lasya to adesha. There it was tip parasmapada. Here it is atmanapada. You get the. Next is, so then once you get this, so this to becomes te. Next, please. Yeah, 1 second. So here you give this, when the ta, same o, sapagama, same o, edha, then ta become te. What has happened here? Now you see this o of ta is made a. There is a change. What is the change? Now the te is the marker of the, we say te means atmanapada, te is parasmapada. But actually te is atmanapada, but ta is actually atmanapada. It becomes te only in the teeth lakara. In ingit lakara, te is not there, only to. That's how he has taken to as the basic, and te, ekara is only a modification, bikara, a change in teeth lakara only. Lot, lit, lut, root, in all these lakaras, you get te. So that is why the to is the suffix and a is a change only. That's why it's a titaha. Titaha here means it's a teeth lakara. In the teeth lakara only, because we have the 10 lakaras and divided into teeth and git. Why it is made? Now you can understand. To make the difference, to understand the meanings of the sentences, the structure of words. So here you teeth. Teeth means takara iti. Lata, it is teeth. Lit, lut, lut. Where takara it's called teeth. Only in the teeth lakaras, it is a formal division only. In the teeth lakaras, atmanepadanam pratyayanam, the atmanepada suffixes. What happens? Tehe a. Here T is coming. So T means, tehe means T, takarasya. T means, I will explain that. So there is a sutra called, when he is using T, what does T means? If you ask what is T, tehe a, it has become tere by Shanti. Visarga has become ra. Now what is tehe a? So T pratyaya. So the T, what is T actually? The final vowel of a word is called a T. See, look at this. Because when there is a change only in the final vowel, how you are going to explain? So he has named this as a T, like acho antyadi T. So we'll be giving this in due course. But look at this. He has given sutra acho antyadi T. T means the final vowel of a word. If a word is a the is the suffix. It can be a suffix, it can be a word. The final vowel sometimes changes only, not the other parts. That final vowel he gives as a T. T Sanya. Acho antyadi T. Antya ach is called T. And this T in Sasti, te, A. The T becomes A. So the O becomes A. That's why the form is tere. So the sutra tells you that what is the condition, what is the change, and when the change takes place. So titaha astana padanam tere. All other things remain same. Only ta suffix you become a, it becomes a dhate. Now, if you want to make the future, suppose take for example like that, you will get what you will get here. The form will be. Don't go now. Just think. If it is a dhate, if you mark in the root lakara sop, if it is in the first root lakara, what will be the form? Like bhavita, you will get also edhita. Please just show the root form. So root form, when we go see the same rule, you don't need to learn many other rules. Edhita. Because it is a lokara difference. So shatasi lulutoho. Because in the lut lakara, again tas come. So you get edhita. Bhavita. So once you know it, you can apply to any root. Any form can be obtained. That is how mind understands. You don't learn to have every form. As you do, people are afraid, scared, learning Sanskrit. Why should you do Rama, Rama, Rama? Why should you gachati, etc., etc., no? But you do it, you use it, you get the meanings correctly. But provided, once you know this one rule makes you, one finite rule, Cetasi Lulut Ohor, tells you all the Lut Lakaras of all the 2000 roots are having one form. You are not to go to learn every forms, only one, only one. Eka sabdaha samyagyata suprayukta. If you understand one rule even, you can understand the rest. That is the generative system of Panini that. What we are talking today, finite and infinite. Finite set of rules gives you infinite set of forms. It is all the finite set he has established, formulated in such a way that for all 10 lakaras, you need not worry. Only know the difference only in the lakara agama and the changes, basic changes. Shya is root. Any root you bring, Shya should be there, idagama should be there, so it will be bhavishyati. So that is how edhitas, edhishyate, if you make it, since it is root lakara, it is adhita. If it is root, you get shyagama, idagama, edhishyate. That's like only te become. That's all. One rule for Atmanapada is tehe etvam. Pratyasya, last akara, ta become te. So this is way how the verbal forms used in Sanskrit language in all the lakaras are possible if you know one form, one root. That's why in our courses in a graduation or in MA, they only give you two dhatus, that is bhu and ed. They don't ask you to read all because other things should be mastered by oneself. Yeah, please.
So sorry, I'm asking a very basic doubt.
Huh.
I suddenly got confused between Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi, and Kartari Karmani.
Yeah.
Kartari Karmani is active passive, and
These are the
Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi is also active passive.
Paraspai active and passive are the syntactic structure, syntactic meanings, karmani and a kartari. These are the meaning of this sentence. Now, how do you know which one is kartari and which is paraspai, means karmani? No, these kartari and karmani, the sense, are conveyed through the suffix, a difference in suffix, that is ti and te. So ti is kartari and te is karmani. That is a marker. So suffixes only marks the difference. Meanings are kartari karmani. These meanings are conveyed or communicated or explained or reflected in two suffixes. Why you need atmanapada and parasmapada? Now parasmapada represents kartari. Atmanapada represents karmani. So suffixes are markers. They mark the relations, the meanings that you want to convey. Karta karma is not the meaning of a word. It is an understanding. These meanings, the way the sentences are used, we find these two types of meanings, that is kartari and karmani, or active or passive. But these meanings, how do you know? How do you know the difference? The difference takes place in the form, that is in the suffix. Suffixes are only markers. They mark the difference in meaning that is there in the sentence. So the root is only telling that whether it is sakarmaka, akarmaka, they take the suffixes to mark the difference between kartari and karmani. That's why parasmapada, that is called parasmapada. He is named as parasmapada. Ti is parasmapada used in the sense of kartari. So kartari parasmapadam. Kartari parasmapada, not just parasmapada like that. You cannot use everywhere. Similarly, atmane karmani atmane padam, bhava karmanaho atmane padam. So atmane padam, parasmapada are the suffixes which mark the difference between karta and karmani prayoga in the sentence structure. The sentences which are used in active and passive are distinguished in Sanskrit in the name of only in pratyaya. We need not change the order. Only form changes. Only the suffixes makes the difference. So everything is inflectional. The sentence meaning can be understood by suffix itself. If it is bhavati or gachati, you know it is kartari. If it is gamyate, it is definitely karmani. So te represents karmani in general, as we know the rules. That is why paraspada karas atmanepada. Okay? Always suffixes helps us to find
Got
it. Yeah, okay?
Yes, sir. Got it. Got
Yes, always suffixes and things and all are used to indicate the meanings, to convey the meanings. Yes, next. So now this is what about how the thing suffixes, which are inflectional, and how they are used in the verbal derivatives, or what we call the verbal conjugations. We don't say derivative because we are going to have the next now to show the difference between inflection and derivation, as it is done in linguistics. Panini has done, set right from the beginning the concept of language, the analysis of the language, the rules of the language, how it is used by us. And he has only given you a model, the rules that is possible in getting these forms. Next, please. Yeah, we'll go to the next slip, today's thing. That's what we are coming to the derivation. So every word used in language are not borrowed. So most of the words used in our language are always self-developed, generated within itself. What we are talking today, derivation and inflection, linguistics. So Panini's soup and things are inflectional categories, the inflection. The krut and thing are the krut and taditas. They are not inflectional suffixes. They are, we call them derivational suffixes. But what is derivational? So difference between inflection and derivation is, I had told you why you need all are suffixes, but all suffixes are not same. If you compare to thing is used with the verb directly, mentioned through lakara. They are called the finite endings because they represent person, number, tense, and action, active or passive. But these are not used for that. These are another set of suffixes which are used with the verb only. Look at this, verb plus suffix, dhatu ho. The adhikara is dhatu. Dhatu takes two types of suffixes. Noun also takes two types of suffixes. Noun we had seen, sup and taditas. So sup represents the final ending. Tadita is used to form one noun from another noun. So Dasaratha to Dasarathi, Bhagirath to Bhagirathi. We have our friend here, Kaushal Jha. What is Kaushal? Can you get it the meaning? Kaushal.
जी सर
From
Yes.
Kaushala.
How do you get Kaushal?
Fine, sir.
Koshalasya.
Kushalasya bhava kaushala.
Kusalasya, ji.
See, this kushala means, again, etymologically, kusang lati, a most intelligent fellow, is called kushala. Because kusham lati, only an intelligent person, and it is given etymology, I am telling, intelligent person only can pluck kusha. Kusha grass is very sharp. If you touch, it will cut your finger. But such things are also possible by human being to collect. So only one who has intelligence presence, he knows how to pluck it. See, technique. That's why I call kaushala is technique actually. Literally we are using, but literally means an efficient. Because he knows how to pluck even a kusha grass, which is not possible for all. And tasya bhava, one who does this. With the nature of this is called kaushala. So it is a technique. It is the quality of a person who can only do things which are exceptional, which are very, very special to something. So that is why kaushala, kushalasya bhava kaushala. This is called vriddhi. Bhave ghaya pratyaya, you get vriddhi. So all the words used in our languages, you get in vriddhi forms. Bhagiratha become Bhagirathi, Dasaratha become Dasarathi, Kushala become Kaushala. If we U, it become O. If we E, it become Oi. So these are the changes which are special to Indian languages. We should know. The names were given to us, we should understand how it is grammatically correct. So these forms, whenever we are using verbal forms, we find only two ways. One is with the finite endings, that is going, coming. At the same time, you get another form, the goer or doer or maker. Then maker, they take it as derivational because from dhatu, you get another noun. So derivational suffixes change the category of the word. In inflection, when you say gachati, gachata, gachati, you are only changing the person and number. You don't change the category. It is a verbal form. It is a finite ending only. It is a verb remains for all the times. Only difference in tenses. But when you come to these suffix, other suffixes, they represent the verb becomes noun. When you say maker, maker means what? This is called verbal noun. So just like maker and doer, all these forms are used, singer, all are used in English. They call it verbal noun. These verbal nouns, they are called the derivative suffixes because they are not inflectional. They only form the base of a noun. So that means one noun is derived from verb. It's called verbal noun. Verbal noun means the noun which is derived from the verb. Make, if you add er, you get maker. So er suffix is a suffix that is called a verbal suffix, that is a derivative suffix, whereas ing is a finite suffix. Same way, sup and ting are all our final endings. These are the ting and padam. The rest are coming as pratipadika, that is krudanta and tathita. So krut represents the derivative suffixes. Why derivatives? But by adding krut, we get another root. So another noun. That is why if you look at this, all the verbal forms, all the verbal nouns, why you call verbal nouns? They are derived from verbs. And when you say nominals, you get so noun from noun, you get all the tadita suffixes are used to form another. That's why they are called pratipadika. They form the nominal category. The verb becomes also a noun. Now, this is the way how verbal suffix, derivational suffix and inflex are distinguished in linguistics. Panini has done this with suffixes in names of krut and tadita. If it's tadita, it is actually nominal derivatives. The noun becomes noun, dasarati becomes dasarati, and whereas if it is krut, it becomes verb becomes noun. Verb only takes krut suffix, not the noun. That's why the verb becomes noun by adding suffix, which is he has named as krit. But what is this krut suffixes that we will see, and that again, whenever a noun is derived from the verb, because verb always represents our karta, karma, and a bhava meanings. We get this, no? Gachati, gatmati. Same meaning is also whenever you have in formal nouns, they also represent the same meanings, kartari, karmani, and bhava. because a form cannot be used without these meanings whenever we are using. So in that sense also, the nouns are derived from verbs and these suffixes are called krut in general. So that's why if you look at this, so thing and krut, these are the two suffixes used by Panini to indicate that thing are inflectional suffixes and krut are actually derivational suffixes. Now then what is difference between the two? Why you have made to look at this? Why you need to? Now the division is made at a very higher level, deeper level. To understand the meaning of a word or to understand the meaning of a form, we need to know its category. That's why categorization, classification is necessary. Why you need krut? Yesterday he was asking, no, why should Nipara know why? It is not to make distinction. To understand the correct meaning of a word, we need to categorize. We need to distinguish. Then only you can say, oh, this is this. Everything is not same. The changes have taken place. The forms have undergone change, but the meanings, differences are there. So we have to understand meaning only when we take the division. That's why from known we have to go to unknown. What is unknown? What is the meaning? What is known? Only the forms. So if you get karoti, you know this is a verbal suffix. It is a verbal suffix, but it is inflectional because it tells the meaning of it is a finite verb. You know that it is present tense, first person, singular. Whereas you say karaka, you don't get tense there. So these examples, these definitions are necessary to understand. Mind processes everything with meaning. So meaning is important for us. Artha pradhana. Without semantics, without meanings, no form can change as per our tradition. That's why Sabdartha is one. The same Sabda is also Artha. Two sides of the same coin. Here, if you look at this, now what is this krut? Is a way of definition by negation. Krut, a thing. That which is not thing, I will explain you. I just see the tree. That which is not thing. That is krut. So verb takes two types of suffixes, x and y. If you know x, the rest is y. Or if you know y, the rest is x. So that's why, since thing is already defined by us in Tiptas, Disiptas, etc., in the derivation of the inflectional suffixes, so the suffixes which are not thing are called krut, but all come under dhatu adhikara. So that means the suffixes attached to the dhatu, the verbal root, are two types. One is inflectional, another is derivational. What we call today is, for Indian Paninian terminology, thing and krut. Then he defines itself by the rule, krut a thing, krut and a thing. What is not thing is krut. See the rule, 3193 tells you what is krut. How to know krut and different? What is not thing? Very simple. So this is the way how the rules are made. And then when krut comes, anytime? No. It is comes always in the sense of kartari krut. Now this kartari krut, when it is coming, what are the krut suffixes? So two sutras first he gives. So one sutra, Noun and Truch. These are the two suffixes which are defined by 31133. They are used in the sense of krit, which represent karta. And this kartari, when the form comes, you get karaka. And so with the Noun, you get karaka. With the Truch, you get karta. So karta and karaka are two verbal nouns used in Indian languages also. This is all derived through Paninian rules. But our language teachers do not understand from where it comes. They say that our language is independent. The forms which we are using, we do not know the rule behind it or the system. So it is the Panini system ensures the grammaticality of these words, which we are even using today in our languages, Indian languages. And look at this, karta and karaka, two terms are used for an agent. What we call karta, or we say karaka. In English, only one word, that is agent. So the way the words are used and formed and semantically distinguished, karaka and karta, these words are common to any language, Indian language, the words. We will call it, we have got it from English or it is from Panini. So it is a question of understanding how our system is continuing traditionally. Will you say Sanskrit or Odia or Hindi? So people always fight no language teachers. They do not try to agree that language has come from one source. It is structure of the language is important, not that what we speak in whatever way we differentiate. So you get the form karta and karaka. Now the other thing is same kruth suffix has two parts, again two types. Why? Now when we have the sentence meaning, the verbal forms we are using, they are also used as kartari as well as karmani and bhava also. So the forms which are used or derived from root, we can get this agent as well as also we can get also karma object also. Let us see. This difference is made by using the suffix he has made krutyaha. So krut is kartari and other sense bhava and karma are used as krutya pratyayas. So within krut pratyaya, there is a subdivision. Why? Because they are used in three senses, that is karta, karma and bhava. For kartari, krut in general, but krutya suffixes represent bhava and karma. What are these krutya suffixes we use in our languages? That's why I am giving the examples. Kartabhya, tabhya pratyaya and anyar pratyaya. See this krutyaha prag nuluhu, nul truchau 133. Before 133, from 195 till 133, all are krutya pratyas given in one section. That is called, it is called the adhikara rule. So nul truchau is the end. Krutyaha prang nulaha prak. Before the nul truchau, this section is called krutya section. All the forms used in language are described within this section. And in this, what is this? What do you call this krutya? What are these krutyas? The suffixes he has given. Tabya, tabya, anyara. Tabya, tabya, anyara. So with the tabya, we get kartabya. With anyar, we get karaniya. So any verb we are using verbal forms. Kartabya, databya, patabya, drashtabya. All words which we are using in our languages, from where it comes. What are these words? Now when we use them, now how it is karmani and bhava? So when you say kartabhya, well, kartabhya, what is your duty? A kartabhya means to be done something. No, I will give the examples. We'll come to that. Next, please. Next. Yes. So krutyaha prangnur. Tabya tabya niyaraha, kratyo nurtu, all the sutras I have shown you, these are the forms. And you go to examples. Next slide, please. So if you look at these examples, kru, it is a rikara, not a ra. Okay, so this you look at the suffixes which are used here. Krut suffixes are used in the sense of agent or what we call kartari. What is krut? That's a which is not thing, kruda thing. I explained you. Krutyaha pranulaha, again it tells what is the adhikara starting. See the sutras arranged in such a way that one section represents one type of changes or pratyayas. So nulaha truchau 133. So the krutya pratyayas are taught before the sutra nul truchau. Prak means before. What are the krutya pratyayas? Tabya tabya aniyaraha. So these are the suffixes which are used as krutya pratyayas. Now where do we apply them? Application of the krutyas. B plus krutya. You get krutya means this tabya tabya niyaraha used in say bhava tayoho bhava karmanaha eva krutyak ta khalata. So krutya ta and khalata. These are the three suffixes which are used in the sense of bhava and karma. I will give examples now. Next, please. Look at these krutyas. Kru plus tabya, potential passive participation. Kartabhya means that is to be done, which remains to be done, which must be done, which should be done. We don't use these auxiliaries, but directly the suffix indicates the meaning of the word, the sentence, to be done. So that is why you get kartabhyaha kataha devadatena. The mat must be made by devadata. Everybody cannot do. When you give the meaning difference in the sentence, so the sentence meaning is very well indicated by the suffix. That's why pratyate anena pratyaya means through which it is indicated. So they kartabhyaha kataha devadatena. Now if you anyar karaniyaha, kru anyar, you get karaniya. So karaniya means also to be done. Two suffixes are used very commonly in our languages. Darsaniya. Darsaniya means to be seen, worth seeing. So we say Darsaniya Sthanam, we are using in our language. Darsaniya Sthanam means place to be visited, worth visiting, must be visited. Different meanings are there. Don't make it religious. I am telling the explanation. When you say Darsaniyam Sthanam means Pathaniyam Pustakam. That means,
Sir, Mananiya Mahoday.
yes, Mananiya means which deserves respect. Respectable person. Mananiya means respectable. Manam and Mana Dhatu is to respect, and Mananiya means one who is to be respected. A respectable person. Mananiya. Any word you know, try to find out that how does it come, what is its meaning. So all the words we are using are very well known to us, but we do not know about them. We never think about them. We never learn about them. So grammar only tells you that whatever you know is correct. It is there. You know everything. Try to understand what it is. But we never do that. Any language we speak, it is not that it is something very strange or very big. Panini is not talking something very exceptional, but the way method he has presented, look at this. He is taking the use from the language and showing that how they are beautifully semantically connected. Makes the difference. We change the language. Why? To make the change in our mind, to become happy, to write the correct word, to use the correct word. This is what the grammar does, is to describe the things what is best available in with you. It is not the property of Panini or mine. It is everybody's mind which works. So that is why if you read, we should read that is Bloomfield. It is the greatest monument of human intelligence. He is not talking of Sanskrit. Panini though is using grammar. Yes, please. So even when using the grammar, it talks about the mind. Why computer accept the form, the same thing you will see when we will come to computational linguistics lecture on February 12 and 13. We will have 2 days lectures. So look at this. Then you get the kta pratyaya. Krutya kta khala. Kta is always past participle. What is kta sped? Krukta kruta. Kruta means done by me. It is always past participle, represent always object. It is done by me. So that's why the karta is coming in Tritiya, Ramena Krutaha, Devadattena Krutaha. So here it is Bhavata, Bhavan, Shabda is there. You get Bhavata in Tritiya Ekavachana, Bhavata. So the way the words are used, if you see the khal is used in the sense of lesser, very little. Ishat Karam. Ishatkara, Karaha split into Kataha Bhavata. There are 3 words. Deepa, can you just change it? Ishatkaraha space Kataha Bhavata. There are 3 words. That means the mat is made by you very less. If you look at the mat is little by little. You are not doing direct at a time. So this is all how Krutya Ta Kalartha. The forms are used in our languages, are governed by grammatical rules. And these rules are not seen. It is adrishya. Adarsanam lopa does not mean it is not there. It is only adarsanam. So you get krutya, tabya, etc. And next, if we please, next please. So now look at this. There are many forms which you are using. You can be, if you know the language, you look at this, how you get these words. So the word, if you see first, he says, so there are verse, bhs please take separately, yat versus nyat. Verse, bhs please separate. Yat is, there are 2 other suffixes which are used in as krutya, and they are coming within 3197 to 31124. Within that, the 2 suffixes are alternatively used. Now, when do you use yat? Though meaning is same, all are krutya, all are karmani and bhava, but they are used with the 2 different contexts. So look at this again. Our pratyahara is coming. If with the first sutra, acho yat. Acho means achaha. Ach means vowels. That means the roots which end in a vowel. That takes yat pratyaya. Acho yat. A root which ends in a vowel, achaha. Take yat suffix in the sense Of it is, yes. Bhava and karma again, stative and uh, objective. So gayat, you get geya. Then you get deya, peya. All these words we are using, which represent is they are worth doing or that can be done. So dayat, deya, give to be given. Deyam, danam, danam to be given. Which dana, what is worth giving. So yat pratyaya represents are all the verbs ending with vowel. If you take the opposite, so there are set of roots which end in vowel, take the yat suffix with some exception, the rules will be there. Then 124 tells you ru halo. If it is rikaranta, except vowels though they are, except rikaranta. So here you have rikaranta and hala. Hal means again any consonant. See this. Same pratyahara, ach and hal are also used in applying the suffixes to the verbal roots in particular conditions. So hal means anyat again separate, ru halaho niyat. So means it indicate because it is all in dhatu adhikara. So the meaning comes from dhatu adhikara. That means the root dhatu ending with rikara or hal. Hal means or any consonant. Niyat to be separated. Niyat is the actual suffix. So ru halaho niyat. See, sutra tells you if a dhatu is ending with the rikara or any consonant, the suffix comes is niyat. So yat and niyat, what is the difference if you look at this? The tha and tha remains, they are to be deleted, only ya remains. But here now is there, it becomes niti. Because of nit, I had given you earlier, achon niti one sut. If it is nit, there is a bruddhi in this step. Nit always indicate bruddhi. This is tagging. When you are adding an say the suffix or the anubandha or the it letter, if it is niti, the sutra says achon niti. If it is ajanta, the nit, because niti pratyaya pare, ajantasya dhatuhu gets bruddhi. Achon niti iti bruddhi. So bruddhi sutras are there. Ego guna bruddhi when we are telling, when bruddhi comes, if the pratyaya is niti. So here niyat indicates that there will be bruddhi. So let's see the examples. In yat, you get only geyam with the other vowels. But with ru karanta, what do you get? Kru plus yat, you get karya. Same kru, become kar. It is bruddhi. I had told you earlier, all the verbal roots in Sanskrit ending with the vowels. This is why Iko Guna Bruddhi says that if all igantas, they take guna and bruddhi. Every time? No. So guna bruddhi takes place if it is pratyaya janit. So pratyayas are designed in such a way that if it is nit only, you will get bruddhi. If it is not nit, no bruddhi. But sometimes, even there is a no nit, you get a bruddhi also, nishadha is there. So that I will show you. So this is called the gradation of the vowels. Bhu, I had given an example earlier also. If you take kru, so kru dhatu, we get three types of forms. One is krita with ta suffix, past participle, you get kruta. And if it is karta, it is guna, kar. And if it is karaka, it is bruddhi. So ru remains one time with some suffixes like ta, and guna and bruddhi comes because of the other suffixes, krut suffixes. Now when you say this guna bruddhi, what happens there? Now this guna bruddhi is a very, very part or indispensable morphological changes, morphophonemic changes within the morphemes, particularly with the verbs ending with ik, beginning or ending. So always yena vidit adantasya sutra is there. So where anything that is described in the sutra, it represents both way, whether it begins with the vowel itself, or it ends with a vowel. So in this kru, you see, look at this. So tabya, kru plus tabya, you get kartabya. It is guna here because tabya is ardhatuka. So Sarvadhattuka Ardhattuka Sutra, what we saw there. So Sarvadhattuka or Ardhattuka, both the suffixes cause guna, where when guna everywhere, ikaha again. Iko guna bruddhi, sutra is given there, 113. This iko guna bruddhi tells wherever there is guna bruddhi, it takes place only in the place of iganta. If a dhatu is iganta, ending with ik vowels only. So ik pratyahara, remember we had iko janachi. Here it is iko guna bruddhi. So guna bruddhi is the change, modification of only dhatus ending with ik vowels, not o a. So this gives you that. So tabya being sarvadhatuka ardhatuka pratyaya, it is not thing. So it is ardhatuka. Because it is ardhatuka, it causes guna. Kru becomes kar, then tabya, kartabya. Kru plus anyar, karanyam. Kru becomes kar, anya is added just, you get na, and na becomes na, rasabhyam nonaha samanapade. If there is ra kara, a shakara in one pada, the na becomes na. You get ramena. Ra is there, you get ramena. If it is debena, there is no natva. It is because there is no rakara. So rasabhyam nona. If rakara and shakara is there in one pada, the na becomes na. So here karaniyam. In other place, you can have other paniyam. So onyar pratyaya he has taken. Why? Because onyar is the original one. No is original sound. No changes to na only in a condition. Rasabhyam nonaha samana pade. If in one word, rakara, sakara, then now become changed. So it is a allophone. So it is not a independent morpheme or phoneme. So the way these changes are brought here, kru plus noon, because it is in it, you get pridhi, kar plus aka, karaka. There is no halant here, aka, it is only aka, karaka. So what is happening? Then you get kru plus truj, you get karta. So these are the forms which are derived from the root, which are used again as noun or pratipadika. That's why krut tadita samasascha. He has told, I had given you three sets of sentences which represent. The first categories are only the nouns, the names of persons. The second category, we had this Dasarathi, Sitapatihi, and then you have the Sasaka. This represents only the derived nouns. So we have two types of nouns, simple nouns, which are the names of person, things, and etc., as we know, and general definition of noun. But for in grammarian, you have two types. One is simple, another is derived. So all these krut forms, tadita forms, are derived nouns. That is why he has given two rules to explain the pratipadikas of two types, the nominal stems. One is simple, arthavat adhatu apratyaya, 1 to 45, apratyaya pratipadikam, krut tadita samasascha. So samasa is also a derived noun. Noun plus noun becomes noun. That we are going to see next week. I will be telling. We are now doing with noun plus becomes noun. We have seen tadita. Now we are seeing verb plus noun. It is krudanta. We are seeing. Then we will see the how these nouns are derived, how these nouns are formed. Three categories are only used in our language. That's why you cannot have a sentence other than these three, either simple or direct. That is why I had given you three sets of sentences. We'll be doing when I will come to syntax. I will explain that. Also see that how grammar is precisely observed and how sentences have been counted. Then they are described, simple and derived. Why you need Kurutaita Samasa? Why after Pratipadika? Why it become Pratipadika? Because they represent the nouns of verbal nouns or nominal derivative. So this is called, that's why they are called the verbal derivative. They derived nouns which are coming from the verb. So this is what, these are the three stages I had said you. That's why any sentence you begin, which is the karta? Either it can Rama, it can be Dasarathi, it can be Sitavati or Sasakaha, or you can tell these are also derived nouns. So both one set and second, both are nouns. They start with any sentence. So all represent karta. They are all karta. Apart from that, we have the another set, the third set, what I had given you, the pronoun. The subject position or the karta can be noun or pronoun. That's why we are showing always two. Noun bar pronoun means a subject can be noun or a pronoun. A noun can be simple or derived. That's why we have three sub-sentences, three types of sentences. But actually one sentence used with the three types of subject. Simple, derived, and pronoun. Pronouns are not derived. They are the nouns. They are pronouns. They represent the nouns. They represent in the place of noun, same role, same function. That's why noun and pronoun are only the two categories. Nama and sarvanama are distinguished by Panini. And shown that all the nominal stems can be derived into simple and complex. So you can have, these are the four maximum subject, four types with pronoun we can have. But all represent one karta, one subject. The role is one, but the forms are only different. So that is why three types only maximum we can use in a language. Right or wrong, we have to judge and we have to see. So next is, what is the next please? So this is what, yes. So these are the basic suffixes we had told you, sup and thing, and these suffixes thing, other than thing, it is called krut. And there is a adhikara, the section krut section is starting with the, again with the dhatuhu, they always come with the dhatu, thing and krut. So thing is inflectional, krut is derivational. Krut refers to the word stem ending with the krut suffix, that's why you call it krudanta. So always look at all the suffixes, all the divisions made by Panini are explained by, what is that, commentators, tradition, as we ending with krudanta, taditanta, subanta. So the anta represents, they are the bound morphemes. They are only joined with the base, prakriti. So prakriti and a pratyaya relation, the pratyayas are only indicating the differences. Prakriti remains either nama and dhatu, sorry, noun or verb, but the changes within them is shown by the pratyayas, whether it is subanta, whether it is tinganta, whether it is krudanta, but in respective sources. If pratipadika, you get sup. If dhatu, you get thing. If it is pratipadika, you get tadita. If it is dhatu, you get krut. They are not merely just forms, so they are used in order. They are distinguished with the particular meanings. It is not just to say, somebody said we should follow. Why should we follow? To understand the meaning of a word, we distinguished. If yesterday I have said you the verse, please look at, read this. Bitarkita pura buddhya. Mind never speaks out unless you distinguish the forms within itself. Unless you know what is right, what is wrong. Yaha pratipadikat, tadita, all these forms that we see that. Everything is in order. Everything in a set. You get the adhikaras. You get the rules used within that. So you don't need to explain everything. Everything is understood by one word. Kartarikrit. So whenever a sutra is made, how much precise one can be, it depends upon one's ability to formulate, to create an coding. That's why coding, how Panini has been able to, you see in every, wherever we go, whatever form, whatever change we see, the pratyaharas helps him to reduce the labor, to make it is very simple to understand. If you know hal and ro, you see, if it is halanta, you get nyat pratyaya. If it is not halanta, yeah, there I was showing one form, please. This is this Bhakya. See, now look at this. We have a sutra, I will give you. We are all concerned with this word Vakya, from where it comes. In our languages, in Indian languages, including Sanskrit, we use two words, Vakya and Bhachya. We say Bhachya Parivartana, active passive, no? We call it Bhachya. But when sentence is used, we call it Vakya. So what is the difference between two? Are they same or different? Panini makes a difference. Shows what is Vachya, what is Vakya. Both the forms are derived from one root, that is bacha dhatu. Vacha, to speak. Now, if the dhatu, bacha dhatu, we have two forms now. How to distinguish? Are they same or different? So, what is difference between two? Basically, if you look at Vakya is the name of a structure or name of a sentence. Vakya means something that has a unit of meaning or something that is abstract. We only give you sentence or Vakya, but it is something that is there as a unit from which all other things comes out. So it is a name. So you are a category. It's called syntactic and it is a syntax. What is syntax? How things have been arranged, put together. Syntax. Tax means actually the grammatical unit, pada. How padas have been arranged. It is syntax. Syn means to, synthesis, synthetic, to club together. So tax means actually the grammatical units, what we call padas. What Panini says padam. That's why pada samuha vakya. So vakya is the name of a category of words used in a particular meaning. Whereas Bachya means, why do you use Vakya? Now to convey certain meanings, whether it is Karmani or Kartari. So that's why the Vachya comes the meaning. What is to be spoken? What is to be understood? What is to be expressed? Vachya means here something that is to be expressed. So there are two forms with two meanings. Now for that, how he gives you the example, look at the sutra, that is Bachaha Asabda Sangyayam. Rule 1, you just see. Bacha means bacha dhatu. Asabda sanyayam. If it is not sabda sanya, means them. What happens? Bacha asabda sanyayam, you get niyat pratyaya. Sorry, yat pratyaya. It is coming under yat. So if you bacha plus yat, bacha dhatu plus yat pratyaya, we get vachya. If it is bacha dhatu plus niyat pratyaya, you get vakya. Then what is different? Same, you know. But in one place you have cha, another place you have a ka. It is a phonological change. Cha becomes ka. That's how we have vak artho, vagartho. Vak coming from where? It is bacha dhatu. Bacha dhatu becomes vak. By which rule? So there is a rule, if a chakara and jakara is there, they becomes kakara or gakara respectively. Chajoho. Chakara, jakara, yoho, kutvam. Kutvam means ka varga. Ka, it becomes ka. If it is followed by a nit suffix, that is why. Chajoho, kughya, nyatoho. Nyat suffix, if it is followed, then the root, that is chakara and jakara, becomes kakara and gakara. So that's why we have back. And plus year remains, so you get a vakya. So here condition is not only niyat suffix but asabda sanya. It is sabda sanya, that is the name of a sentence, you use niyat. It is asabda sanya, then you use yat. So yat and yat, two suffixes, are used for distinguishing the forms, though meaning is same. The meaning remains same, but the forms are given differently. Why? Because the forms are used differently, vakya and vachya. How you are going to explain? What is the difference between them? So there is a only formal difference, so that is why to know the difference between the two, he has given you a sutra bachaha asabda sanyayam. The bacha dhatu in asabda sanya, it takes a yat suffix. If it is sabda sanya, it will take niyat. So if it is niyat, you get kat kutva, bach become vakya, and if it is not niyat, simply yat, you get bachya. So bachya artha we say. Bachya artha means the meaning conveyed by the sentence, and vakya is the form, the name of the form. So name and form, the form and the meaning. So whenever form, you take one name. When it is in meaning, you get the another form, that is vachya. So vakya and vachya, if we understand how grammatically it is correct, how they are semantically distinguished, Panini's one rule will tell you. that vachaha asabda sangha, how simply he explained you with condition asabda sangyaya. And because it is in the adhikara, yat and anyat, you decide what form you are using. So that shows that how the many forms, infinite forms used in a language are controlled, can be explained with short rules. You look at this why pratyaharas and how sutras are using the pratyaharas, the coding. And you see these anubandhas, the tagging, niyat, it is vriddhi, it is kutva. So the changes that made in the form is indicated by itself by the ith letters, by the anubandhas. So coding and tagging is the main principle of describing a systematic grammar, systematic rule. A rule is that which explains everything in a very short form. So abhyapti, ativyapti, dosa rahitam. Can you change it? Can you say there is something wrong? Can you say so? He has given the change along with the condition. So every rule is marked or described in terms of conditions. So there is no change without a cause. So wherever there is a change, there must be a cause. Only Panini very minutely observes each and every form used in Sanskrit language and has tried to give in a best possible way, described it logically so that we are not able to find its replacement or any kind of alternative. That's why there is no second Sanskrit grammar which describes things adequately. This is what Panini's observation and his contribution and what we mean that why we need Krishnam Vyakaranam Proktam means all aspects he has covered. Whether you call it today inverse derivational, whether you call it what do you call this derivatives or nominal derivatives, verbal derivatives, everything that you talk today in linguistics are very much ingrained in Panini's principle. The Ashtadhyayi represents. That is why what always Bloomfield should read, why it is a model. We should look at from that point as a model how it describes the language systematically and logically and using the technical terms he has developed, the coding and the tagging anubandhas. These two things are how much important for understanding a language. That is why all linguistic rules are used with today only symbolically. That is X, Y, N, P, V, P, N, binding, this thing, that thing, whatever is going on is only an effort to come to the and to reach the goal. Panini has left no vacuum to put anything or to delete anything. That's why even Katya and Vartika did not help to change the rules of Panini. Patanjali told, Vyakhyanato Vishesa Pratipatti Nahi Sandehata Lakshanam. You do Vyakhyanas, then only you will understand the meaning of it. Because you don't understand, don't say that it is not correct or something. Doubt can be described only by understanding the language. Okay, so any question for 5 minutes at least? So if there is any question, please. Yeah, please. Yeah. Any question?
How is the word tadhita constructed and what is its literal meaning?
The literal meaning is, hita means actually, how do you understand? Again, tadhita. So your dha has become, so there are two words, tat hita. But if it is a samasa word, tasya hita. That means when you get a son for the prosperity of yours, apatyartha ya. So it is tasya hita tadhita. So tasya sashti vibhakti is coming from the pratipadika tat. Tat sabda, that is a pronoun, third person pronoun. Tat becomes sahataute. So tat. So when samasa will going to next yes, samasa takes place, the vibhakti lopa takes place. If vibhakti lopa, the pratipadika remains. Tat. Tat is the pronoun, sarvana. So tat hita tadhita. So ta become dha because of. So there is a sutra also. Jasas tasad ho. There is a sutra that how before ha ta become dha. That also we have the phonological rules are there. So that I will explain also when we come to samasa next day. See what is happening. Whenever the forms are used, they are also used meaningfully. Tasya hita. That means when you get something or you are getting a progeny, it is for the benefit of yours. So that is why in the sense of benefit, hita is always auspicious. It is also Mangala, we say, na, for your hita, for your good self, for your good thing, I am only telling. That is called the hita. Hita means always prosperity, goodness for yourself. What is good for you, it is called it the hita. So tasya hita, tadhita. Sya goes, so in samasa vibhakti lopa, then tat plus hita, ta become the, it become tadhita. So tadhita is a formation of tasya plus hita. Some benefit for yourself, benefit for other thing. So that is why you get the tadhita. So names is given by him technically, used in the sense that semantically it means it is in the sense of prosperity. That's why you get when you apatya, his son, Dasarathasya putra Dasarathi, this is apatya. His son Dasarath, this is tadhita. Yes. Any other? Yes. Mandavi, Subra, linguists should talk. See any gap, if there is any deficiency. See the approach. Panini only gives a methodology. His methodology is important. I am not taking Sanskrit here, teaching Sanskrit. I am teaching what methodology is followed to describe the language. Why it is rated as the greatest monument of human intelligence. Who is intelligent? Panini is intelligent or people are intelligent? Whether Panini Vyakaran is famous, important, or Sanskrit language is important. If language is not used properly, how can you write such a good grammar? So language is also important because people have spoken so systematically, so semantically correct, then only it becomes easier for a grammarian to, though he has to try hard to develop terminologies. So he has become great because of language is great. Because unless the people are great, unless the people think properly, understand it distinctively, you cannot get different forms. So that's why Sanskrit is inflectionally represents.
Students are there. The teacher cannot explain.
So many forms are there. So all the forms how your people are using. So with the meaning behind it. So unless there is a system, a grammarian cannot make a system. So grammarian is great, no doubt, because to understand such a system, you need what you call the sadhana. If you read Patanjali Maharaj, he was a great guru who made a tapasya. He received from, that's why he has given to Shiva, that because of tapasya, hard penance, he got these Shiva Sutras. And then he created this, what you call this, pratyaharas. And then he started making the sutras with those things. These are all internal structure. The grammar is built within to show that whatever we know, it is built within. First, the sound system. From the sounds, you get the pratyaharas. From the pratyaharas, you get the formations, sutras. So rules are inbuilt in such a way that we are not able to identify or distinguish. So that is why only Panini has made. Though Chomsky is trying his very hard in describing the languages, still there are some gaps. There are some lacunas because it is approach. In talking about language which is internationally used, but we have talked a language which is very little, very scientifically used for all subjects. We have all shastras. So this is what the role of grammar, why mukham vyakaranam proktam, why grammar is called the mukham, the pradhanam, because if you know grammar, if you know one rule, you can explain the rest. But nobody reads grammar because why to learn this karta, karma, kriya, ekavachana, divachana, bahuvachana? You want to speak only. People who are more fond of speaking. Nobody wants to read how you speak. Nobody wants. So grammarian only makes it possible. Yes. So any other question, please? See, look at the approach. Yeah, please.
So a basic question. How did kru plus null become kru plus ak?
Yes. So there is, so Panini, whenever he gives, derive the forms, as I told you, the forms are not, many forms are not derived directly. So he has the system of Adesha. So there is a sutra, Yubo Ranako in 711. If it's 7th chapter, first sutra will tell you Yubo Ranako means you and bu. So he has taken nul. Nul is the pratyaya, in which now goes, it becomes niti. La goes because of liti, and this wu gets aka adesha. Yubo ranako, you and wu get adeshas ana and aka. So if you know karana, you get karana means kru plus lut suffix. Karane lut. Karana adhikarana yoho lut. Lut suffix is added in sense of karana. In the lut, la goes, to goes, u remains. This u becomes ana. By this rule, you are anako. So for adesas, he has a set of rules. In 7th chapter beginning, he keeps. So this null, this wu remains. Wu is always changes to aka. Is adesha. So there are adesas. That's why adesas tanivat. Adesas are very much specifically designed by him. And then they are attached to particular suffixes. Suffixes are used, you null. Then he gives adesha, you get aka. If it you get ana. There are other suffixes. Why the I and I in your padachatikam, there is another sutra, you get etc. Like cha pratyaya, gha pratyaya, you get this yo adesha, ana adesha. We'll see some other time, because there are. So there is a system. Wherever there is a change, he prescribes this. Here he prescribes the adesas. Adesas are technically devised by a grammarian to say that is to be used only in this space. So that's why yuboho, yukara, you, buho, boho. It is sashti divachana. You get ana and akau. Yubor ana akau. 711. If you see that 711, 72, 711. So if you look at that, so you and bu are replaced by ana and aka, so that all the forms with the nayana, even how do you get? All the ana pratyanta is comes either in karana or adhikarana. So karana itself is kru plus lut. You get ana. Because of kru, you get guna. It is ardhataka. Kar plus ana. Karana. Because of rakara, now becomes karana. So all the suffixes used, whenever they are used, there are adesas are prescribed, so this is Thanivat Bhava is very much crucial in understanding the variations in the languages. Vikaras, lot of vikaras, different types of vikaras. To handle those vikaras, he has developed this system of Sthanivat Bhava and adesas. So many things, when you come to pronoun also, you will see the adesas. You learn the pronouns aham, avam, vayam, maam, ma, mayam, the tubhyam. All these things are there, which are also again adesas for particular entities, grammatical entities, that we will know when we will come to nominal derivation sometimes. Because this time I'm trying to give an introductory that how Paninian system is complete as far as the language change is concerned, and how it is systematic, how types of rules, the methodology he has applied, coding and tagging, how much it helps to describe the complexity, what we say Sanskrit complex. If you do one rule, everything is at your fingertip. No other language can be explained with one rule like Panini's rule. It is only Sanskrit. That's why Sanskrit is not changed, because you cannot find an exception. Yes, please. Next. Yes, next, please. So there are changes. Within changes, we will have guna, bruddhi, these adesas. Anything else? So anyway, these are things keep in mind. Again, keep on thinking that how a system is built, how code is made, how what do you call that? What do you call the tagging is made, and we'll see next class. We'll see next week. That is on samasa. So we have completed krut and tathitas, soup and thing. Now we'll go to samasa. So word formations are of three types, that krut, tathita, samasa, which are derived forms. We'll take samasas next, so that we'll know that how all the words used in our languages are used within these three categories in three names. Yes, Subra, any doubt?
Yeah. I need to review, sir. That's all I know.
Please, no, tell anything. No. The idea is that a system, how does it work?
Yes.
How far it is complete? To what extent it is adequate? And how it is unambiguous? Asandeha. When you listen, you check with your languages. What are the forms used in your language also? Mother tongue. Try to verify. Anywhere you exercise, please tell me. So let us see how our languages are developed. How words have come. From where did they come? So how it is a self-developed system, we'll try to understand that how Panini helps us to maximum possible to understand the Indian languages, structure of not only Sanskrit, but also Indian languages. That will be our main goal to let us link, establish the link, what way it is logically viable. Okay. So thank you for giving patient hearing. So we have tried to cover maximum.
Students are not
Yeah.
there, teacher.
So it is all because of your presence. We are able to. What I have studied, I am only now recollecting and trying to present you, convince you. Don't think it is mine, everything or final. It is only an attempt to understand how a system works within my limited knowledge. So I am trying to explain maximum I know, but I am going only with sutras. I am not going to commentators. We have to verify ourselves whether the sutras are right or wrong with the forms given with us, the examples found in the language. We'll verify ourselves. We don't need anybody's help now. So that is the best way to learn our own languages. Okay? So that is what. So we'll see next week with samasas. Get read also Subramania's book. Any book you know, any grammar you know in your language, read samasas. Understand what samasas they do they say. What is samasa? Why you need? These are all we have to see. Why you need samasa? Bhaskar must ask, no, why you need samasa? I don't need. People have used it. Another type, how what formation take place in the language. Yes. So if any question, otherwise we'll meet. So next week. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Paraji. We'll make it also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.